What's up, guys? Welcome. This is Mike from Motown Property Group. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us on YouTube and all the other social media platforms that you guys do watch on. It's awesome. We appreciate it. We love to continue bringing you good content. We love to continue bringing you valuable content that you really need and you really want to move forward in your careers, in your life, whatever the situation might be. So last time we talked about how to make a quick decision. What are the 7 things we need to look at when we make a quick decision? Is it legal, moral, and ethical? Is it logical? Does it make sense? Is it profitable? Do I want to do it? So now that once we make the decision, we're going to run into problems. How do we solve them? What do we do, right? When I was at Davenport learning, when I was studying there, we learned a 7-step case study process. That was fantastic. It was a lot, though, and it took a lot of time to go through, which is the point, because it's attempting to teach you to think critically about everything. So what I did with my classes is I cut it down to 5 things. And there's basically 5 components of problem solving that I see, that I teach, that I honestly feel that if somebody goes into a problem looking at these 5 things, then they can figure out a way to solve the problem, or at least figure out a way to best put a context around it so that it's not ending up, damaging a project or whatever else the situation might be. So what do we look at, right? So once we have a problem in front of us, the number one thing that we want to do is we want to define that problem, right? What is the problem? That's step number 1. What's the problem? Number 2, why is it a problem? If we don't know why something is an issue, then we have no conceivable way of solving the problem at all, right? So what's the problem? Why is it a problem? Then who does the problem affect, right? What is the problem? Why is it a problem? Who's being affected? Who are the stakeholders is the business technical term. Internal and external, right? Who are the people internally inside the company, inside the situation that it's affecting? And who are the people externally, right? If you have, just bring it to a personal situation. If you're ever having a problem with your significant other, an internal stakeholder in that would be you and your significant other. An external stakeholder might be brothers, sisters, parents, kids, whatever the situation may be, people around that circle, friends, people who are affected by you guys maybe being at odds, okay? So those are the external stakeholders. So what is the problem? Why is it a problem? Who is the problem affecting? Internal and external stakeholders. Then what's your solution, right? What are you going to do to fix it? And then what are you going to do if that doesn't work, right? What are you going to do if your solution, which obviously is the greatest thing in the world because you came up with it, what if it fails? What if it just sucks, right? What if it's not the right thing? What if you thought it was right and it's not because there was information that you missed and you didn't diagnose the problem appropriately? There's so much that can go wrong, right? So what you want to look at is you don't just want to look at what is the initial problem that I can solve and what's my first solution for this problem. Yes, you want your number 1 solution, but then you want a backup plan. You got to have a backup plan. If this project fails, if we can't get this many units up, if for whatever reason we're running behind on timelines, what if the people and the resources that we're saying we're going to use for this specific project don't come through? What am I going to do to have to, solve for X in this situation? So you always want to have a backup plan, because when you're in the midst of a project management schedule and things are getting towards the end of that timeline, the very last thing you want to do is go to your boss and say, oh, by the way, this didn't work and I have no way to fix it. That's the very last thing that you want to do. Now, your boss might come up with a solution and everything might be okay, but I can promise you that your personal brand will suffer. Okay, your personal brand will absolutely suffer with that individual. So what is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to look at? Once we make the decision that we're going to engage in a situation, 5 things to solve a problem. What is the problem? Why is it a problem? Who does the problem affect? What are you going to do to fix it? And what are you going to do if what you want to do to fix it doesn't work? Those are the 5 things that I teach. And quite honestly, the 5 things that the final project of my class is based on is you need to come up with a problem and you need to present and tell me all of those 5 things in a very, very clear way. And if you can convince me in the midst of that, it's passing grade. It's a pass-fail situation, right? So those are the things that I teach because I think that those are very important. And if people don't know how to identify and solve problems, then all they're going to do is just get caught up. They're going to get overly emotional. They're going to allow things to come in between them and the solution to the problem. They're going to give up too soon simply because they don't have the nerve to be able to settle down and go through a specific process, right? I'm reading a book right now called The Object is the Way, which is a fantastic book, and I'd recommend everybody reads it. And it talks about Ulysses S. Grant in there, and how he was such a crazy leader, really, and didn't let anything affect him. You know, there's stories of glass shards falling down from 20, 30 feet above, you know, that could very easily have injured him while he was getting his picture taken. And as it fell all around him, he stoically looked forward, and then when it was done, he simply looked up to see what it was and then looked right back forward, right? Other stories of him running towards fire when everybody else was running away. And one of the points it makes in that book is, you know, the idea of nerve is either denial or it's acceptance. And when somebody has nerve, they accept their situation and they say, okay, I'm here, right? Getting crazy, getting emotional isn't going to change anything. It's not going to solve anything. So what do I do to fix the problem, right? Another great book that I was just reading called Extreme Leadership talks about the same thing. What they teach Navy SEALs is when you're in a situation, in a combat situation, and tensions are high and things are crazy, what do? You stop, you look around, you make a call. Stop, look around, make a call. Make it simple, guys. Problems don't need to be that difficult. They're only as difficult as you make them, right? If you start focusing on the problem, excuse me, you're going to run into issues where you can't get past the problem. If you start focusing on the solution, all your brain is going to do is try to fix that problem and come up with solutions. Your brain's the most powerful thing in the world, guys. Hands down. We don't even know how powerful it is. So because of that, let's use it for the best possible outcomes to every single scenario. You can solve problems. You can fix this, and you can do it right. I believe that. We believe that at Motown, and we're always in a problem-solving mode because there's a ton of problems to solve in Detroit, and there's a ton of work to be done. So we're excited to continue playing a part of that. Thank you guys for joining us on this journey. Please let us know what you want to hear. Myself, Shay, Eric, we're all here to help you guys. Reach out to us. Find us on MotownPropertyGroup.com, and we will talk to you guys soon. Thank you again. Have a great day and a great weekend.